Welcome, geeks and girls. My name is Gajitz, and this is episode 2 of our Unstable series. So, last episode we finished off a bridge, and we were planning on doing some stuff like that. And in between episodes, I've cleared off all the tall grass from around here. We got a little bit of a farm set up and got some water up here. As well as that, we got a little bit of a tree farm going with both normal oak and also spruce growing. Now, you might notice that the bridge looks a little different from the last time we were on. That's mostly because it is very different. I went and watched in between the episodes a little bit of a bridge tutorial or something like that, and decided to make our bridge look a little more like a bridge. So we now have a little bit of a better bridge, and that then leads into our mine, which goes all the way down to bedrock. I didn't do much else other than just mine the whole thing out. There's no mines going off to the side, but eventually we will have to do that. And the cool thing is we hit a, um, I don't know, a chasm or something through here. And the cool thing about that is eventually we'll get down to mining it, but it meant that I had to put another bridge in the middle here. And then if we go all the way down, we ran into some basalt and we ran into some gold as well as some redstone ore. And the redstone ore, I think the lead, yeah, we can take the lead. Um, the redstone ore is the reason why we're going to be doing what we're doing today, and that is getting something together so we can double our ore. I didn't know I could use lapis. Oh, really? I didn't know I could use, oh, what? We need diamond level to harvest redstone. They've upped the level of redstone. Okay. Damn. So we're gonna need to find diamonds or something. What about the... Or actually, we can make an obsidian pick, which is diamond level. So that means we need to get on to making ourselves a smeltery. So I'm going to get to the top here. Oh, we're not actually that far, but I'll get to the top here and we will be back when we have the stuff ready for our smeltery. Okay, so we're back up the top here and we've got our chests. Nothing really too great inside them, but we can chuck these two in here. And we've got a bunch of clay, and I think we should have a bunch of sand. Probably take half of that. Oh no, I want 16. And then we should have some gravel, wherever the gravel is. This one as well. We don't need all of this. And where's the rest of it? Here. There we go. So then that's going to be a smeltery. So if we get our little thing over here and we chuck that guy there and that guy there, and then this guy here, we get our grout. And the same with this 16. Now we're not going to make a huge one, we're just going to make a functional one to start with. And then we have to fire all this up. So I don't have any charcoal or coal. I do have a bit of coal, but we'll just use up that little bit of wood anyway. Okay, well, I'll come back once this is all cooked up into seed bricks, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that is all cooked up. So now we need to make ourselves a smeltery controller, a couple smeltery drains, and a tank. So we've got our tank, and we're going to make two smeltery drains. There we go. And then we're going to need two faucets. Now, I always make my faucets because I always forget to make those. And then I end up having to run around and find more stuff to make some more seared bricks. But then the rest of these, we're just going to turn into seared bricks, which is not the right way to do it. So let's do it the right way. Okay. And let's just do 20. I think that's enough for 20. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, and this is just going to be our temporary living area until we can find a place or like build a place. So, and I'm only going to make a small smeltery. You know what? Let's make it 2 wide. Yeah, 2 by 2, actually. Let's make it a 2 by 2. No, you're not smeltery bricks. So we want to go like that, and then our smeltery bricks around it, and then up, and this side. And then over here, we're going to chuck our 2 drains. Over here, whoa. Over here or over here, which one? I think I'll probably go over here. So there and there. And then we'll go our controller here and our seed tank here. And bam, it's all up and running. Just because we have them as well, I'm going to chuck these extra ones. 7, so 1, 2. We need one more. Like always, but that's okay. Ah, really? Why did I do that? And we will grab one more smeltery brick. Chuck it over here. There we go. And then we have a nice amount of things for smelting. And then we'll chuck our faucets on, like so. And we need to get our stuff out into a casting basin, and we're also going to need a casting table. So let's go. I think we could have done like off of just one, but anyway. Uh, Casting table, casting basin. There we go. Nice. And last but not least, we're going to need to chuck all this stuff away. Now we need to find some lava and get our tank all filled. So we're going to come over and grab our tank. And then we need to head off into the wilderness and find ourselves some lava. We'll head off into the cave and find ourselves some lava. I think there is a bunch on the first little bit after the bridge, if I remember correctly. We may have to fight our way through too. I'm pretty sure I saw some lava. If it's not down here, I'll pause the video and we'll go looking. Yeah. There is lava, but it's very far away. Ah, zombies and stuff. Zombies and creepers. There we go. That happened. Another creeper. So there's a bunch of lava over there. So if we jump, we're not going to have to worry about this little creeper over here. But we are going to have to worry about that guy, probably. So let's see. Can I just come over here and kill him from underneath? I think I can. And now, let's sort this water out. Hang on, we can do it. There we go. Alright. And I think if I just chuck one here, that should sort it. Nice. And that opens all this up so we can chuck our tank down and get ourselves some lava. So, I'll be back in a little bit once we're back up the... Okay, so we're back up the top, and if we chuck our lava down, we now have... Sorry about the crack in the voice there. If we throw our lava down, we've got our nice little lava tank on the side, which means we can now start smelting some of our iron. So this guy holds 9 and this will make 2. So that's 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. That should be 2 blocks. I don't want to make any more than blocks because right now we can't put it into the casting table, and that's probably a bit of a problem. So if we just make them into blocks, we can put them in the casting table, then um into our little thing. Also, I died on the way back here, which was a little bit annoying. I fell in fire, and luckily there's graves on this server, or like on not on the server, on this mod pack, in this mod pack, which makes dying not as bad as it once was. Now we're just going to wait for this to melt up. There we go. 8 ingots. Need a little bit more. No, don't put you in there. And 2 blocks should be enough to do what I want to do, which is pretty good. Looks pretty cool now. The smelting down. Almost done. Come on. Takes a little bit longer though to cool down an entire block. And we might as well do another set. I think it was that much, wasn't it? Like 9, yeah, double up. So to ease it, chuck this guy away. We have some copper and some tin, but we don't need aluminium brass. Sorry, we don't need brass. We need aluminium brass for our plates, I'm pretty sure. But as you can see, what I've been looking at is a tank. Because now we've got that, we need like a pretty good supply of lava. But if we also have a tank, which I'm actually going to make 2 of, so we need some iron bars and 2 pieces of glass. So we'll get them cooking up. And if we grab this guy, so it's just some iron bars around, and we get a fluid tank, which holds 16. Like so. Bam, one tank, and then one more. Bam, another tank. Cool. So now we have our 2 tanks, and I'm going to come over here and chuck this one there, and we're going to right click on it and say on this side we're going to push. So that's pushed our iron back in. We need to take that out actually. And so it's going to push on that side, and then if we chuck our lava bucket in, it'll put lava straight into the smeltery. And then if we come down here and grab a bucket of water, which to do this I might put an infinite source up here, but chuck a bucket of water on there, and we get molten obsidian, 1 block. But we're not going to use it for that. We are going to use it for some more equipment. So we need to chuck a wee bit of clay in to our smeltery. I don't know how much of this I need, so I'll just chuck in the full thing. And then we need to make up some stencils. So we need some sticks and some oak. And if we go 2 of you and 2 of you. Okay, I have to do the proper pattern. There we go. Make up a little bit more than half a stack. And if we go this guy, we'll get ourselves a stencil table. And then this guy, we'll get ourselves a part builder, but I think I'll go all oak. So there's our oak part builder. Then we need a crafting table. Really? Benchmarking? I've already made a crafting table, dude. And a chest. My making of chests isn't very good right now. And I can't speak this morning either. And a chest. There we go. So, over here, we're going to chuck all of this down around this guy because it's all related to each other. The part builder, stencil table, and tool station. So this should be connected to our pattern chest. This guy needs our patterns, and we need to make up a pick head, a binding, and a tool rod. And then we'll make a bunch of other stuff a little later, like an axe, because we need an axe and a shovel. But grab you, and I think I got some cobble. No, I don't. Grab some cobble over here, and we have these 3. So if we just go bang, 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 and we can chuck it there and make us this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy. And what we're going to do with this is if we get our tool head and switch this guy over to our molten clay, we can pour clay in and it'll give us a clay crafting station, or like, not a crafting station, like a clay, what's it called? A clay cast. And then if we switch back to our mountain obsidian, We can pour that in and we'll get an obsidian pickhead. Like so. Bam. It also uses up the clay, so you don't get that back. So there's our clay for that. I think I'll make an obsidian like stone thingy too. Oh, that was a full block? Okay. Well, let's just steal a little bit of lava from there. And make that up. There we go. And clay was on the bottom, wasn't it? Yep. And then switch up to obsidian. And go bam. And jump into our bed because it's going night. And night in 110 is freaking crazy. The mobs are insane in 110. Okay, so then that should be our cast. And I think I'll make my handle out of bone. So we don't need you in there. Chuck some bone in. We'll get a bone tough rod. And then grab you and go bone, you, and you. That gives us a mining level of cobalt. Speed is not too great. Actually, it's pretty terrible. Our attack's terrible. We've got 3 modifiers, but it lets us mine pretty much everything. Can we increase the speed? What are we binding? Let's see. Binding splintery, durability. Binding just adds durability. Okay. I think we need the book to have a look at what the actual things are. But anyway, there is our new pick, which means we no longer need this one. And we can go down and mine all that, what's the name? Downstairs. Grr, my brain's not working. Uh, we can go down and mine all that redstone and everything downstairs. So I'm going to head off and do a little bit of mining with our brand new pick. You know what? Actually, I'll bring you along for the first little bit. How about that? Because we don't need any of that. I'm going to keep this and this because we'll grab some lava when we can. A creeper gave me a music disc, which was very nice of him. And I don't need you. And that's going to be for a casting later on. I think that's about it. And a shovel down. Alright, let's head down and see how our pickaxe works. How good it actually is. So now we can grab this little bit of gold. Lovely. And this little bit of redstone. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, don't forget to hit that follow and like. And we will see you next time. Alright, guys. Later.